want to model the drainage system of this bathroom project, for which we have previously modeled the ducts. Let's take a look at the plan and become familiar with the entire area, and then we're gonna go to Revit. Now, if you look closely, you will see we have two eastern toilets, and each of them has a wash and sink, which is separated from the restrooms by a door. And then we have a lobby in the middle of the restroom. Then when we go down here, we see we have a western toilet with a sink and a floor drain. And we have another space here like a closet in which there are two more floor drains. Now our indicators for the drain system, we have blue and pink lines. The blue lines collect the heavy wastes, as in they are covering these two eastern restrooms. Then it gets to this western toilet and then ends at the riser. And then the pink lines are collecting the light wastes. For example, they're covering the sinks and the floor drains, which then end at a different riser. Now, the reason why we have two different risers in this project is actually because the light waste is supposed to reach the refinery. That waste would be refined, and that refined water would be used for things like irrigation, watering, or just washing in general. But the heavy waste would be collected separately so that it is disposed. So remember, maybe not in every project the heavy and light waste would be separated, but here in this project there was a solid reason for that. Now the size of the pipes, we have all of them here, 110, 75, or 75 here, so we have all the sizes needed. And for heavy waste, we use the initials SP, which stands for soil pipe, and the light waste are indicated by the initials WP or waste pipe. Also, the vents have the initials VP, which, as you may have already guessed, stands for vent pipe. Now we're going to start with modeling the soil pipes or the heavy waste, and we will be connecting these eastern toilets and this western toilet to the riser. Now, another thing is that for the size of the pipes, here it says 110 for a pipe of the polypropylene segment, but now we're just going to draw this pipe from the PVC segment. For a PVC pipe, we use the size 100 instead of 110. So we're going to load all of this in the project so that we start to model its pipes. Now, before we load this plan, first I'm going to measure a part of it by using the linear command. For example, I'm going to measure the width of this wall, which gives us 0.15, so I'm going to guess this is meter. But first I'm going to double check by going to Dimension Style, and then click on Modify, then check the primary units. I'll check the scale factor, which is 1, so I was right. So now we will be loading this plan with the meter unit. We're going to go to Revit, and you remember that we've drawn the ducts previously. So now we're going to go to the plumbings and select plumbing 1. Now we go to the insert tab and link CAD. Let's go select the plan. We're going to look through the folders. First, we're going to head to project, then WC and DWG, then select sanitary. Now we make sure that this current view only box is checked because we want to see the file only in this view. Import units meter. And I'm going to keep the positioning on center to center, then click open to load it. Now once the plan is linked, we're going to align it and put it in the right position. So align shortcut AL. Now I'm going to select this W15 grid from Revit, then align it with W15 of CAD, then over here WR Revit, then WR from the plan and align them. We're done, so we press escape. Now we can also select the plan, which right now we can't because we removed the permission for select and linked files. So let's change and allow it. Now we select the plan and make sure it's the Sanitary DWG, and then we're going to pin it. Now we are 100% sure that this plan won't be selected by accident. Also, we're going to change the permission to not allowed. Now to start drawing, first let's go place the fixtures. Why did we decide that? Let's go check the CAD file. You see, right now these blocks which have been placed here in this CAD file, they have a certain size to them. Also, their distance from their connection points of their pipes to the wall are both the same. Now the drawing that we have in the mechanical file has placed them in a different position. Maybe I'll add another family and it might be positioned somewhere depending on its size. So because of that, first we have to adjust our fixtures so we would figure out the connection points. Now back to Revit. Let's go and load its family by going to the Insert tab and then Load Family. And now we're going to look through the folders and files that we have. We're going to go into Project and then WC Project. After that we go in Revit and then Family. Now here we have two options. Asian WC fixture with size 100mm and this one 110. We just said that we wanted to draw PVC pipes, so we select the first one and click Open. Now the family that we have was from version 2017, so we just got a message saying that it's being upgraded to the 2023 version, and the message was gone quickly because it was done fast. Now we go to the Systems tab and click on Plumbing Fixture. Just like when we used this command to place the area drain, we use it again to place the toilet fixtures. Now here we see the last thing we loaded. And now we're going to go onto the drawing area and put it where it needs to be placed. Now I want this family to be placed in the ceiling of the first floor. In fact, we are placing and modeling the drain system of the upper level in the ceiling of the lower level. So because of that, we're going to have to change this level to FFL level 2. So we're placing these in the second level's floor. Also, you see it's not showing us that, and it's because of that view range thing we talked about. So now I'm going to click. The family has been placed, but as you can see it says none of the created elements are visible in floor plan. So we're going to press Escape, then create a section. To see if we can find it, click and click. Now let me minimize the section, right click and go to View. Now I'm going to expand this from below so we can see the lower level as well. Then set the detail level on Fine and shade it for a better view. Let's also expand it a little from this side, and there's our fixture. Now let's go measure from below the fixture down to the floor or the FFL. Then it gives us 3795. Also, the level itself is at 4000 elevation. Now let me close this 3D view, then go to View and Tile Views. We want to see the section and the plan simultaneously. Now we go in the plan and open the view range, or we could go to the Properties window and open View Range, or we could just use this shortcut, which is VR. So now here it says that it's showing us from 0 to 4000. So that's alright. But we said that we would only be able to see the fixtures if a cut plane goes through them. So this is 3795, then maybe 3800 would be proper. So I'm going to type in 3800, then click OK, and now we can see the fixture. Now let's go to the plan and click Tab Views so we can see the area in full screen. Also, we could set the detail level on shaded so we can see it better. Now, how much distance there needs to be from the fixture towards the wall in between and the wall beside it, we can find out that information in the standards file. So we're going to go look at the file code 12861. If you take a look over here, you will see that the distance from the fixture or the connection point of the pipe towards the wall behind it is actually minimum 15 millimeters or 25 centimeters, and the distance to the wall on its side is minimum 450 millimeters. So we can consider these distances while we are placing the fixture in Revit. Now back to Revit. We're going to measure by using the Align Dimension command, and then measure from the axis of the fixture to the edge of the wall. But the edge of the wall is not being highlighted, so I'm going to press the Tab key 1, and once it's highlighted, I'm going to click to select it. Now I'm going to go click somewhere else so I can see the size better. Then again, over here from the axis of the fixture towards the wall behind it, and again I'm going to press the Tab key and click, then click somewhere empty and press Escape. Now in order to change these measurements, I'm going to click on the fixture and then on this size over here. The minimum number was 25 centimeters, but now that we have enough space, I'm going to give it 330 centimeters. Then as for the distance to the wall on its side, the minimum number for that was 450. So enter. So now I'm going to go change this to wireframe. Now as you can see, the mechanical drawing was somewhere and architectural somewhere else, and the thing that we've just placed is different. But our main priority is the one which we have adjusted and placed. So I'm going to change this back to shaded. Now we can just take this toilet and mirror it over on this side because they both look the same. So I'm going to select it and then use the command mirror draw axis. Now that we have selected draw axis, we have to specify the axis, which is from here to here. This point is exactly the middle of these two, and this is an opening for the MEP items. So right now these two toilets are completely mirrored and we have placed them both. Now let's also place the western toilet. And let me tell you that we do have the family for this type of toilet in Revit. I'm going to go to the Insert tab and click on Load Family, then go through the metric files, and then in the plumbing folder, then MEP, and then fixtures, and finally water closets. Here we have a bidet and water closet with flush tank, also flush valve, for which we have two. One of them is floor mounted and wall mounted, either placed on the wall or in the floor. And now I am going to be using the one that says flush tank. We might also have wall hang or some other family types, which currently we don't have them here. So now I'm going to be using this family, and then I will explain how you can place all the other families as well. So flush tank and open. Now in the Systems tab and then Plumbing Fixture, we will see the last family which we loaded. Now as you can see, we have 4 different modes, so which one should we select? We have either private or public, and each of these modes have LPF. For example, it's 6.1 LPF, which stands for liter per flush. As in, per each flush, 6.1 liters of water will be discharged. So this is the capacity of our tank. And then we also have flushing greater than 6.1 LPF. So this means that the capacity of our tank would be larger than 6.1 LPF. Now that's about that one. But now what do private and public mean here? The fact that the toilets and fixtures which we place, whether they're going to be used at a public or a personal space, is very important. So for example, here I'm going to select public, then go to Edit Type. Now here we have a few items which have WFU at the end of them. This actually stands for Fixture Unit. A researcher named Hunter came up with a new unit so that he would size the pipes for us, and then named it Fixture Unit, and measured the amount of water that's going to be discharged for each different size of pipe. For example, for a toilet which is going to be used at a public space, the chilled water fixture unit is 5 liters, and for hot water it says nothing, and then collectively hot and chilled water fixture unit is 4 liters. Now, if we go set the type on private, as you can see, the numbers would be different. Later on, we will be using diagrams and charts so we can convert this fixture unit to another easier unit, for example, gallon per minute or liter per second, and then be able to adjust the size of the pipes. So the reason why some families are divided into public and private is because of the different amounts of fixture units that they have. But right now I'm going to be selecting the one that says public, 6.1 liter per flush, then OK. Now where are we going to place this? On FFL level 2. Did you notice how we can't see it right now? So I'm going to click to place it. And then we get this none of the created elements warning. So now I'm going to go take this section, then put it right over here, right click and go to view. So now this toilet is exactly on the floor of the level above. even though the Asian toilet looked like it was a bit lower, but this one's completely onto the floor. So now first we have to specify our view range at a higher elevation from 4,000. Also, we have to give a bigger number than 4,000 for our cut plane. So now that we haven't drawn anything more in the upper level, we're going to change the view range, and then we're going to discuss the entire view range and drains concept. Now I'm going to press VR and decide to see everything from level 1 up to 5,000 elevation, for example, and then set the cut plane offset to 4,900. Now we're going to click OK, and now we are able to see the western toilet as well. Now we can select it and use the space key to rotate it once and twice and make it in the right direction and position. Now we're going to align it with the wall AL, then click on the edge of the wall and this edge of the toilet and press escape. So at the first step we place the fixtures. Now if we look right here, we notice that the direction of the pipes has changed. So in order to draw easier, I'm going to go use a reference plane and specify the new plane or connection point for the pipes. We're going to go to the Systems tab and then find the Work Plane panel, then select Reference Plane. Or we could use shortcut RP. Now we're going to click on this axis of the toilet, and then at a 45-degree angle, just like the plan, we're going to click, and the same thing for the next one on the axis of the toilet. Then at a 45-degree angle, we're going to click and press escape. So now, even though the plan is telling us that this is the line of the pipe, but we need to draw it from here. Now, if we take a look all over, we see that we have two beams here. So when we get to them, we need to pay attention to the elevation of the pipes, which we are going to draw. Therefore, I'm going to create a section here along the path of the pipes and minimize it a little. Then right-click and go to View. Let's also expand it from below and then go over here and measure. We're going to use Align Dimension and measure from below the beam down to the FFL, which gives us 335. So it's fine if we draw at a higher elevation because the pipe is coming in with a 1% slope, and here would be the end point of it. So we just got a code, like we can start drawing with 340, and we're going to adjust it later on in section if necessary. Now to draw pipes, we're going to go to the Systems tab and then the Pipe command. And do we have PVC here? No. We have learned how we can add a PVC before, but I'm going to repeat it again so that it would be a review. Now I'm going to select the type standard and then go to Edit Type. And before I change anything, I'm going to duplicate it and then name this duplicated type PVC and then click OK. Now we go to Edit Segments and Fittings. And then first I'm going to set the pipe segment on polyvinyl chloride schedule 40. Now I'm going to click on Load Family, and then first let's go back a few folders, and then I'm going to go to Pipe, then Fittings, and then PVC, schedule 40, now Socket Type, and DWV. Now we're going to select the families. I'm going to hold the Control key, then for elbow I'm going to select Bend. Then for the junction type, I'm going to select T reducing sanitary. Then for cross, I'm going to select T reducing double sanitary. Then for the transition reducer. And then for union, I'm going to select the one that says coupling. Then we don't have a flange, but next one for cap, I'm going to select cap and plug, then click open. Once the families have been completely loaded, as in when this loading blue circle goes away, I'm going to go and organize the families. So now we're going to open the elbow drawer and select Bend PVC. Now the junction type is T, but which one? We're going to open the drawer, then select T reducing sanitary. Now for the cross, we're going to select double sanitary, then for the transition reducer PVC, then for union we select coupling, and we said we didn't have a flange. Then we go to cap. And first we're going to be selecting plug, and we can click on this plus sign to add one more space, and then select cap for this one and keep it pending. Only we have not specified any minimum size for caps. I just want to have easy access to it so that if I need it, I can change it to all and plug to none. Now OK and OK. Now we're going to head over to the system type. Here in the project browser window, we're going to look for piping systems and then open piping system, then go on sanitary. We're going to right click and duplicate, then go on sanitary 2, right click and rename, and I'm going to type in SP. Then I'm going to press enter and then press enter again so we can change its color. For example, I'm going to select this orange color. Now OK, OK, and OK. Now we're all set to start drawing the pipes. So I'm going to click on the pipe command, and now we're going to check the left-hand rule, PVC at first, and then system type we're going to select. And the third one, diameter, we said it's going to be 100. And as for the elevation, do you remember the number we got earlier in the section? It was 335. So we decided to put a higher elevation here, 3400. And now we are drawing from the fixture to the riser. So now our slope would be down at 1%. We could have used the elevation 335 and then draw from here, but that's not really recommended. Because of the types of fixtures we're working with, it is best that we start from the fixtures to the riser. Now that everything's been set, we're going to start drawing. We're going to start from this line here. Somewhere near the fixture, we're going to click. Then we move lower and click again. And then we're going to move to the left. You see we have to reach the dash lines. We're going to click. And then at a 45-degree angle, click. And then I'm going to drag it down to here, near the riser. Click and press escape. Now that we see lines for the pipes, we're going to set the detail level on fine. Now we can see it better. This is what we've just done. Now, right here, I'm going to have to convert this elbow to a T so that we can draw this junction, and then I would have to convert this elbow to a T so I can put a clean out. So it's best that we create a little distance between these two. So I'm going to select the lower elbow and move it lower. And now that I'm moving it lower, you see it just changed from the position we gave to it. So after you created the enough distance, convert this one to a T as well as this one. And now hold the control key and select both of them at the same time, then move them to the left all together. Just put them at the proper position and then align them A, L. Now we're going to click on this reference plane which we drew and the axis of this T. Now let's double check here to make sure they're aligned, which they are, so it's fine. So now, do you remember where the plan was and where we've drawn right now? This is the thing with drain systems. So the thing which has been drawn in the plan doesn't necessarily completely apply to the result. Now we're going to right click on the T and draw pipe. Now check again, PVC, SP, size is correct and the elevation is inherited by clicking. Only that we're getting close to the fixture, so our slope is supposed to be up. Now we're going to click somewhere near the fixture and press escape. Now I'm going to go down here. And now for our western toilet, the plan says that the pipe is coming in from here, then it gets a T-fitting and then connects to the toilet. But in my opinion, I don't think it would look too good once we actually do it. I think it's better if we get a junction from here and connect it to the toilet. Now the pipe command PI, and we're going to check again PVC, SP, and the size is correct. And then the elevation, because we're drawing from the middle of the pipe, we're going to select inherit elevation and slope up because we're getting close to the fixture. Now we're going to click here and then at a 45-degree angle, do you see how it's showing us the axis of the fixture? So we're going to click and then a little ahead, click again and press escape. So now we've drawn the pipes below the ceiling. Let's double check the elevation. I'm going to move this section to the left so that it covers the pipe, then right click and go to view. And now I'm going to set the detail level on fine and shaded. So you see, for now we're going to be ignoring the ducts. We're going to get to them and adjust them later, but for now our priority is the drain pipes. So we're going to turn off the ducts temporarily by going to the visibility graphics window, VV, and then here in the first tab, and we're going to turn off the ducts duct fittings, and flex ducts, and we're going to keep the air terminals and OK. So right now what matters is this pipe. You see that it's going through the beam because of the elevation we gave to it. So we're going to select it and move it lower. Always remember to adjust the elevation of your pipes before you connect them to the fixtures. Now it looks like this is the right elevation. So now if we go in the plan and then click on this pipe, we see that its elevation has changed to 327. But it was 340 in the first place. But then we had to lower it so that it's at the right elevation. So now we're going to be connecting these pipes to the eastern toilets. But first let's check the details in the International Plumbing Code or the IPC. And now we're going to be using this detail, which is called جزئیات نصب توالت شرقی با مخزن شستشو or the flush tank در طبقات میانی. Now if we take a look here, we see the position of the toilet, we've adjusted the distances, then the pipes go down from here, and then we see a trap, or like we call it in Persian, shotorgalu, which creates kind of an airlock and then continues towards the sewer. And then at a certain point, we need to remember to place a vent, which I mentioned to you earlier. So now our main goal is to place this trap, or like we said, shotorgalu. So we're going to go to Revit. Here along the connection of this pipe to the fixture, I'm going to create a section. So now I have to put a section at a 45-degree angle. Also, I'm going to make it tighter so that we would only see this pipe. So now it makes no difference which part of the plan the fixture is placed, but the section's always supposed to be placed along the pipe. Now right click and go to view. Now I'm going to set the detail level on fine and shade it. And then to put this duct out of the way, I can just select it. Then press HH to hide it temporarily, as well as this one, HH. So now we've hidden two items temporarily. Let's also expand this, and there we go. Now here we're going to connect the pipe. First let's load the family, going to the Insert tab and load family. And now I'm going to look through the PVC families, then select Trap P, and then click Open. Now our family's been loaded. Now I'm going to activate the pipe command, PI. Now I'm going to draw a vertical pipe like so, then press Escape. Now we have to select pipe fitting. We're going to go to the Systems tab, then we go to pipe fitting, and remember its shortcut PF. This is useful, so try to memorize it. Now once we click on it, we see the last family which has been loaded. Neither its direction nor its size have been adjusted. Now I'm going to go here near this pipe, and then its direction compromises, as in it would change from its horizontal form to vertical. And as soon as I click on the pipe, the size compromises as well. Now, while the command is still active, I can just click on Rotate here once and twice so that it faces the right direction. Or we could just press Escape and then again select this trap and then rotate it. Just do whatever suits you better. Alright, so now this pipe's elevation, we can't change it to make it higher because back in the section over here, we've adjusted it with the beam. So we have to move the trap lower. We're going to use Align AL, then click on the axis of this pipe and the middle section of this end of the trap. So now we have aligned the ends. Now we press Escape. Now remember, they've only been aligned but not connected yet. So in order to connect them, first select the pipe. And if you recall, previously we said that if you drag a pipe in section, it would mess up the slope. But don't pay attention to that and just drag, even though when I drag it says horizontal. So right now we're looking for the connection point of the trap, but it doesn't show us that connection point. So without letting go of the left click on the mouse, press the tab key once. I just pressed it one time, and then it shows us this purple circle, which is the connection point. Now we're gonna let go of the left click. You see the slope is still in its place, and we've also connected the pipe to the trap. We're gonna repeat that process for this side as well. I'm gonna take this section and move it over here. Now right click and go to view. Now I'm gonna hide this flexible duct using HH, then turn on the pipe command PI. We're gonna draw a vertical pipe and press Escape. Now the pipe fitting command, remember its shortcut, PF. Now we're going to stand on the vertical pipe and click to place the trap. Now we're going to rotate it once and twice, then press escape. Now we're going to have to align AL. Now click on the axis of the pipe and the central point of the end of the trap. Once you've aligned them, you want to zoom in a little, then click on the pipe to select it, and then drag the pipe, but don't let go of the left click of the mouse. While you're dragging and holding the click, press the tab key once. Then the connection point appears and the pointer jumps on it, and then you can let go. And so we have connected the pipe to the trap. As in, if you click on this pipe, for example, then press the tab key, the entire thing will be highlighted. So this means that you've properly connected everything. Now, let's go and select this part, and then I'm going to go click on selection box so that I can see this part in 3D. Now, I'm going to set the detail level on fine. And do you see that? Let me turn off the ducts, VV. Then here in the first tab, we're going to turn off the ducts and the duct fittings and the flex ducts. We've connected the pipes to the eastern restrooms, and we can also see the traps which we placed. Now as for the western toilet, again we're going to take a look at the IPC. To check the connections for the western toilet, we're going to be using this detail. Here it's called جزئیات نصب توالت غربی روی کف با مخزن شستشو, or the flush tank. You see, this is one of the exceptional circumstances in which we are allowed to use hard 90-degree angle elbows. That's because the details inside this fixture already has a trap. So it's not necessary now to place a trap, or that we use two 45-degree angles here. We're just going to put in one 90-degree elbow. So now we're going to go back to Revit. You see, we could have placed a 90-degree elbow here in the plan, like right-click and draw pipe. And remember, slope is up by 1%. Then I'm going to go to this connection point and click. Now let's go check this out in section. As you can see, the pipe's been connected to the fixture by a 90-degree elbow. Now we're going to connect to the riser. First, let's go figure out the position of the riser. But now we're not going to continue from this pipe because the riser is going to be in a corner. So I'll get the pipe command, PI. Now with the size given here in the plan, which is 125, I'm going to go change the diameter to that same number, 125. Then at elevation 0 of this level, I'm going to click somewhere around here, up to the elevation 4000, apply. So that's about the vertical pipe. Let's go check it out in section. I'm just going to take this section and move it here, and also flip this one, and we're going to check this one out first. Now right click and go to view. So you see right here, we're going to have to adjust the position of the pipe by also considering the beam. Currently it's in the right position. This is the beam. It is at the right position. We can even move it closer. Now let's go check out this section. Right click and go to view. When we view it from here, you see this is the beam and the pipe is in the right position. Or we could even select this pipe, then click on selection box so we can view it in 3D. Now we want to expand this box a little, only that we can't see the box. But if you recall, we've mentioned previously that in a mechanical template the box is hidden. So I'm going to press VV, then go to the second tab, and then I'm going to click on one of the items, then press the S key so we can see the item starting with the letter S, then check the selection box and click OK. Now let's go and expand this box so that we can see the beam or the pillar, and to have an even better view, we can set the discipline on coordination. This will show the items with more texture. Let's also rotate this a bit. And as you can see from the side, this is the pipe, this is the beam, and you can see their distance. So that's about the position of our riser pipe. Now we're going to have to connect this riser to this pipe which is below the ceiling. I'm going to create a section at a 45-degree angle. Then I'm going to click right here. Then at a 45-degree angle, the next click. Also, I'm going to minimize it. Now right-click and go to View. Also, I'm going to set the detail level on Fine and shade it for a better view. Now the pipe command PI, and now I'm going to click once here. Now let's adjust the size, which is 100. And the slope doesn't matter to us right now because we're drawing at a 45-degree angle, but now it becomes important. It needs to be slope upright. So I'm going to click here and press Escape. Now we have to align these AL. The base is this pipe below the ceiling. Now we're going to align it with this pipe we just drew and press Escape. Also, we can take this T and move it higher up to here. Now let's go check it out in the plan. Now all that's left is to connect these two pipes together. So trim TR. And then connect this pipe with this one. And now they are connected by an elbow. Let's check in 3D. We're going to take a look from this side. Now it's best that we set the discipline on mechanical. And now we can see it better. So now this pipe is coming in and connects to the riser.